Head baseball coach Luke Johnson of the North Park Vikings. North Park coming off a 23-18 record from his season ago, as well as a 13-8 third place mark in the CCIW conference. And coach, you're coming into your 10th season now with the Vikings. So what is your expectations now coming into the 2015 season?
Our expectation is the same as it is every year. We expect to be competitive in a nationally ranked conference. We expect to compete for a conference championship. When we do that, we will be in the picture as far as the regional rankings and the national rankings are concerned. And when we're in that position, we're in position to play in a regional, hopefully win a regional, and get to the World Series and win a World Series. So that's what our expectations are. I think they have to be in that order. It's awfully tough to get to the postseason if you can't qualify for your conference tournament. Our conference has proven year in and year out that there's going to be 3 or 4 teams that are in and out of the national ranking every year. A lot of times those teams are meeting in the conference tournament, so that's part of the picture, but that's not where the picture ends by any means.
Okay. I know obviously pitching has always been a success of yours since you've been here as a head coach. Talking about what pitching is going to be like for you guys this year coming up to the 2015 campaign.
Sure. We return in the neighborhood of about 150 innings from last year's staff, which was a pretty good staff. So I feel good about that. We return, I believe, 11 wins, and I think almost all of our decisions out of the bullpen. I think all 8 saves are back as well. So we will have some guys transitioning. In particular, Jason Meager being one who's been a midweek starter and has had the luxury of being able to be groomed to become a conference 1, 2, 3 type of pitcher for the past 2 years. He's had flashes of very, very good outings for us, and we hope he's ready to make the next step. He's had a very good fall, had a very good preseason here as far as practice is concerned, and I think he's ready to turn the corner. Alex Vanucci was a freshman last year, left-hander who started quite a few ball games for us and pitched significant time out of the bullpen as well, and won some conference games, started in the conference tournament. Is a very competitive left-hander at this level. So those 2 guys are going to be counted on. Kenny Blanchard has been a swing starter for us and also been a guy that's been very valuable out of the bullpen for the last 2 seasons. Kenny's going to get some time as a starter. Matt Peterson has been extremely valuable. Last year in particular, he was a very high appearance, low inning guy. Was our most consistent bullpen arm as a left-hander. He's going to get a chance to bounce in and out of the rotation. We'll see how that works out. John Nemchek is a senior who's done a little bit of the same thing from the right side as Matt has. Those guys are all in the mix.
Talking about 2 guys, they had 8 all-CCIW conference players last year, but only 3 returned with Joe Belmonte, Dan Saban, and Zach Worsley. Talking about what those guys are going to bring to the table this year.
Sure, I won't say only 3 return. I'll tell you the 3 that do return. One's a center fielder and hits in the leadoff spot. The other, and then that's in Zach Worsley's case. Joe Belmonte hits in the 4-hole in the lineup. And both those guys, Joe and Zach, have been everyday starters for Zach basically the entire time he's been here as a 3-year captain. Joe is a captain this year as well and has been a starter since about probably 3/4 of the way through his freshman year. Those are 2 good places to start. Table setter and the guy gets in the middle of the lineup. Dan Saban, if you take a look at his numbers last year, look at guys who were All-American catchers, his offensive numbers were as good as anybody in the country. Dan can hit anywhere from 3, 4, 5 in a lineup, so will catch for us, will DH for us a little bit, but he's a big bat in the middle. Those are really good places to start, so I feel really good about that. If the program's operating in the right manner, you're going to lose all conference guys every single year. Hopefully we'll have some new guys that will add their names to that list that maybe didn't play for us last year or were freshmen, sophomores, or juniors in the program.
Talking about, too, the CCIW, it's obviously always going to be another tough competitive season with everybody in there. You guys had the 3rd place finish last year. What do you think you guys need to do in order to get better than that and have a top finish and go on to the playoffs and, like you said, World Series?
Well, we left this clubhouse on the last day of the year last year to go out to Wheaton, the last conference day of the year, within striking distance of 1st place. I believe we actually left the clubhouse tied for 1st place, having to win 2 games, and we lost 2 5-4 decisions. That's what separated. I think 1st through 5th place everybody was separated by a game. So every game is important. I think the days in this conference of a 20-1 conference champion are gone. Hopefully they are anyway. So there's quite a bit of parity, and there isn't a tremendous amount of difference between Team 1 and Team 6 or 7 year after year, especially for the last 3 or 4 years. So for us, playing consistent baseball throughout the conference portion of the schedule, hopefully some of the pre-conference games will get us ready for that. We're playing a pretty tough schedule. We have A couple teams to note. We're going to go down to Barry this weekend. It was a bubble NCAA tournament team last year. We're going to play Webster multiple times at their place. 2 weeks from now, who's the #1 team in the region, is ranked by D3Baseball.com, and has been in the World Series 2 times in the last 3 years. They were the #1 team in the country at one point last year, so we'll have them. We have an always tough UW Oshkosh coming out of the WIAC that we'll play against. We play College of Booster out of Ohio, who's a perennial national contender. Haverford from the East Coast, who's been a pretty good team the last 4 years as well, on top of what we have conference-wise. So in the conference, we're going to try to play consistent baseball from start to finish. All 3 aspects of baseball are going to be included in there. We're going to have to pitch, we're going to have to play defense, we're going to have to hit and hit in a timely manner. So I don't think there's any magic formula to it, but we're going to have to win some one-run ball games. I will say that. And I think the tail of the team that usually is on top in this league is the team that plays the best in one-run ball games.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today, Luke, and we wish you guys the best of luck this year.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you.